is where I have to get my readings every day. I write them down in a logbook, and this is where I get my readings at right here. My beats per minute, my fill volume, and my cardiac output. And then these are my batteries right here. I can only change one battery at a time because there's a locking mechanism in here that only allows you to change one battery at a time. And when I'm at home, I'm always plugged into external power.
Okay, Mr. Kinta Elliott is an interesting case. He's a 35-year-old gentleman whom I met more than a year ago, I think in October, for the first time. After he told me the story, he was working for the military in Afghanistan, came back in 2010 and suddenly couldn't breathe. He had no history whatsoever, was not on any medication, no drug use, no abuse of anything, and suddenly became sick out of complete healthness. Young guy, imagine 35 years old, couldn't breathe.
What first happened is in 2010 I came home from Afghanistan. I started having shortness of breath. Went and played basketball on one Sunday. Woke up the next morning, took about 15 steps to the phone. Just felt out of breath. Looked in the mirror, face was real gray. Called my wife, told her I didn't feel good. Took a shower, me and my oldest son drove myself to Rancho Hospital here to the ER. They hooked me up to the EKG and to the monitor, and my heart rate didn't even register on either one of the machines.
And as usual, he was seen by different physicians and treated for a little bit of pneumonia and bronchitis, which didn't resolve his problem, so was subsequently diagnosed with heart failure, in that case of unknown cause, because nobody knew what the reason was for his heart failure.
And then they did an ultrasound on me, and they said my ejection fraction rate was at 20%, which means my heart was barely beating. They ended up transporting me down to Tri-City Medical Center in Vista. I had a right angiogram done the next morning at 9 o'clock, and as I was laying on the table, the doctor told me that I shouldn't even be talking to him because my ejection fraction rate was at 8%.
So when I saw him, he was treated for heart failure with adequate medication, but there was a progressive decline of his functional level. Unfortunately, with advanced stages of heart failure, there is a progressive loss of heart muscle cells, we call them cardiomyocytes, which leads to often something which is called replacement fibrosis, meaning scar buildup in the heart, and with that the heart function deteriorates rather rapidly.
And I ended up waiting probably about a week, maybe a week and a half, because it was during Thanksgiving holidays, before I even got my pacemaker defibrillator installed. And I lived about maybe a year and a half with the pacemaker without any problems, without any setbacks.